I guess this is probably the first time that we've really had this happen. I guess really in history, certainly of the history of the U.S.
What's up?
We had a president sign an executive order um, to explore what it would take to create a central bank digital currency.
Mm.
I told you.
So we're talking about some crypto.
It's
Yeah,
all
you
about
did.
the CBDCs, man.
Yeah, man, it's all about that central bank. That's where it all comes down to. Central
Yeah.
bank.
So
SDRs and CBDCs. Special drawing rights, central bank digital currencies. It's the name of the game.
but there's several other countries that have already been dibbling and dabbling with specific.
China's already launched theirs.
Really, the
Yeah.
digital currency. What is that
They have
called?
a digital CBDC right now.
Wow,
Like a digital yuan.
wow.
Yeah, they gave it out to people as tests, but no, that was just like 2 years ago.
Is that why they banned XRP in China?
They do not ban the XRP.
Or not ban
has
it,
never
but
been
crypto
banned.
can't. Not ban it, but is that why they?
Yeah, so China banned Bitcoin at one point because of the proof of work,
Yeah,
energy consumption, and so on and so forth. But they've never. That's the only one essentially.
Got you.
India's banned Bitcoin. Same thing, proof of work, all
Got
the
you.
energy consumption and so on. But then they unban it.
yeah,
India's probably done it like 3 times. China's probably done it like 5.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Got you. So
Here's-
what?
Here's the basics of what that executive order was.
Yeah.
If the Treasury Department and some of their people are looking at what the impact of crypto on markets and financial institutions are,
Mm-hmm.
because they're worried about stability. They're worried about is this stuff going to destabilize existing financial systems.
Yep.
The other couple of things that it orders is looking at the Commerce Department to come up with like a framework to help make sure that the U.S. stays
Ahead.
put air quotes around this.
Don't
To
get
help
left
make
behind.
sure that the U.S. stays
In control?
leadership of digital assets innovation,
Yeah,
which I'm afraid that we're already missed the boat on that one.
yeah.
You think?
Considering the guy just straight up quit, the guy in the government for the what part of what brand? I forget exactly what role he had, but he just straight up quit and said we're so far behind China, like we've lost the technology, like war, like we've lost it.
Have we? I don't know. I don't know that we have.
I don't think that
You don't
game's
think so?
over yet.
Not TBD, but I don't think that we're that far behind.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Still
Oh,
the
I'm
first
sorry. What are you
quarter.
saying, Jonas?
It says still the first quarter.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
It's the beginning. I think.
But that being said, a research group called the Atlantic Council says that the U.S. is the furthest behind of any major economy in terms of developing a CBDC. We got the furthest way to go to catch up on that.
I
Yeah.
doubt that too. Yeah, because the Faster Payments Council, and I want to say the Treasury, like they've been in conversation and talking about a CBDC for a few years now here in the United States. And as you know, they're not necessarily going to make public what's going on in the background
Yeah.
or what they have, whatever it is that they're working on. We're going to hear, hey, we're thinking about when they've already thought about.
Yeah. And
Like
tested.
publicly, we're going to hear them say, we're thinking about,
Yeah.
when in the back end for 2 years, they've already been thinking about it, or 3 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that we are that far behind, but
We just haven't shown our
obviously
hand.
that part.
Yeah.
So Tom, I think definitely Tom's going to tell, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think one of the big problems that the U.S. has, as opposed to like China, is because we are a democracy, because we don't
Yeah.
have a great leader that says this is what we're going to do.
We
and everybody
did.
does it, 'cause that's the
Trump
way-
would have been like, nah, that's what we're doing, motherfuckers. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, and that always worked out real well too. Didn't it?
No doubt. Didn't matter. Clearly, he's out.
But yeah, and that's another part of the problem is even if you have somebody who's got the will and the political backing to make an executive order like that's really put some teeth into it, how long before they're out?
Right,
Years max,
right.
and that's there's a reason why we have our system set up that way, but because we're not China,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it does slow some things down sometimes.
We're
The
a
other thing-
democracy
But what I do know is in this democracy,
with
we're
an
about
electoral college.
to lose the petrodollar and the power that the dollar was, and it is certainly not anymore. And I think, everything that's transpired in the last year and a half, especially here recently with the war, and for whatever reason, all the talk about SWIFT, I think is alluding to the fact that there will be a system, a financial system, that there will be a handful of governments that will be on the same level. And it's not going to be one, and we're not going to be United States dollar,
Yeah.
King Dingling or whatever, but there'll be a handful of governments that'll be in power.
And that, that BRICS, like, we talked about that. Right?
Yes.
And then China and Russia made a currency like last year, 2 years ago, right?
A payment rail.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I mean, it's already-
BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India,
yeah,
China, and South Africa.
yeah,
That organization has been around for a while. It was BRIC without South Africa, and I think 2018 they made BRICS. But a part of that creation had to do with trade.
yeah. Well,
Like,
South Africa specifically has allowed China to come in and start with that infrastructure, right? Build out where Africa hadn't really let anybody in there.
yeah,
On the continent, come in
Right.
and start building out, in that infrastructure. And China, that's a big land mass. That's a lot of area, bro.
it is. They got it covered.
And yeah, it'll be nice to be able to go in there and do some things from a U.S. standpoint, but that's never going to happen.
Hell no. In China?
No, in Africa.
Oh, yeah, no. We don't trust, we're not trustable.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd that happen?
Good question.
Fake media confusion.
Fake
They
news.
go back even a little bit further than that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No doubt.
I don't know the story, but I know there is one. Because it don't
you
just happen.
mentioned a couple of things, Mark, about some of the changes that would probably be coming from central currency, central digital currency, regardless of whether it's U.S. based or not. But
Right.
I mean, I think that's one of the big questions that a lot of people have is what's the difference between, other than that it's a buzzword, what's the difference between a CBDC and just saying, okay, well, we're going to use credit cards and dollars? I mean, why would we spend all the time and effort to do a CBDC versus just streamlining some of the payment systems that we already have?
Because the new payment system are built streamlined, and CBDCs are, the little trolleys that would go on those payment rails and allow countries to do trade seamlessly. I think it's similar to, and I always like the value of blockchain and crypto is similar to the value of email versus analog. How I would always ask, like, hey,
Man.
before email, how did anybody send a message to somebody in Australia,
Yeah.
in Europe?
A written letter.
Or it was a legit.
Yeah.
And then what percent of written letters actually made it?
Yeah.
What percent didn't make it?
Yeah.
And then how long did it take for that letter to get there? And then how long did it take for you to get a letter back? The transfer of information was slow.
Yeah.
Like, it was like super slow.
Slow and clunky.
Clunky as hell.
And a lot of trust in between.
A lot of trust.
Yeah.
Like, too many kind of points along the way that
You got to get my information to.
that you're going to make it happen.
Yeah. A lot of
You're
these
going to do
people
your job. You're
a lot of
fall
these people
asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. And they're all gonna know where I am. You know, they got my address. Like all these points, I gotta trust
Yeah.
that my information is not gonna just, you know, be
Make it
out
to
there
where
like
I needed to make it to.
Yeah, bro. Like,
Yep. An
So
email.
to push that analogy a little bit,
Yeah.
kind of what you're saying is that the payment systems that we have now, the electronic payment systems that we have now, are kind of like if you took that, they're kind of like maybe the telegraph system that we had
Yes.
in the 1800s, where you still have a lot of like manual intervention. You still have a lot of people having to put hands on things to make things happen versus like, I'm not even gonna say email. I'm gonna say like instant messaging,
Yeah.
where there's lots of different ones. There's a lot of interoperability
Interoperability.
between them, and there's a lot of ways to broadcast things. There's a lot of more flexibility in terms of what the technology can do, as opposed to, you know, sending a letter with some electronic pieces in between,
Right. No,
which
I
is
mean,
what we have now. So, you know,
Yeah.
now we're talking about, we're basically still thinking in terms of, I have $100 bill and I'm going to take it to the Western Union place and give it to
Yeah.
somebody, and they're going to transfer it somehow
Yep.
magically.
Yep.
And
Now-
somebody's
but
gonna
that $100
Now-
bill is only
so now-
$76 once you take it there.
Exactly. So that's the point. Like, yeah, my 100 that I'm sending over there they're gonna end up getting $69.
Yeah.
And I had to go somewhere to do it.
Yep.
Versus literally just let me send $100 to, I don't know, middle of
Dubai.
Dubai. I'm sending $100 to Dubai or India, and I can do that from here, and they're gonna get maybe 99.98.
Yeah.
Carl asked if we talked about XRP.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like full disclosure, XRP holder.
XRP holder.
XRP holder.
Yep.
We're there, but the value of the new system and being able to make that exchange in a matter of seconds for fraction of a penny,
Yep.
you can't beat it. Governments know that.
Yep.
They know that, but they can't just say like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." Like China, like you said, Jonas. Hey, this is what we're doing. Y'all can't say shit.
Yeah. So you got to
the majority of the world. There has to be a reason.
Yeah.
For why we're doing what we're doing,
And
and it has to make sense to the people.
And you listen. If you listen to what they're saying, even with Elon Musk, bro, if you listen to their descriptions,
For sure.
like they will describe the currency all day long
To the
without
T.
saying the name,
Get the name.
right?
Exactly.
Speaking to XRP, like everybody is speaking to this, and I know there's
technology that allows all the characteristics of
Yes.
what the Ripple,
Yep.
Stellar,
Yep.
XDC. There's a handful that are similar technological platforms.
Yes.
That allow institutions and governments to function the same.
yeah,
Are super beneficial, but they'll always talk about the characteristics.
The green-
not the what, not the who.
the green
Just the
currency.
characteristics.
The
That's it.
green currency, and
Yeah.
I know
Energy
Ethereum too.
efficient.
I don't know enough about Ethereum too, but I know that it's not
They're moving to. Yeah.
capable of doing what XRP is doing.
Well, I mean that's what the goal.
Right? That's the goal, but at the end of the day,
Ripple, XRP Ledger has been doing that for over a decade now.
Yeah.
Without error.
yeah.
So.
So, I mean, when you're talking about efficiency,
Yep.
speed,
Yep.
consistency,
Yep.
like,
Ain't nothing like it.
yeah, I mean, why would you remake it if it's already there?
So here's
You only setting
Correct.
yourself up for possible failure, right? And
Right.
and you don't have the proof of work,
The proof of work.
utility.
Actual proof of work. King.
You know,